Once upon a time, a frog lived in a pond. He jumped higher than any other frog, he swam faster than any other frog, and sang sweetly than any other frog. His friends and family called him Mr. Frog. Mr. Frog used to sit every day and speak to all his friends and families about himself and how wonderful he was with in swimming and in singing and all of his qualities. But one day Mr. Frog was abandoned by all his friends and family. So he was sad and he slept all winter and all spring. Then he woke up one day, sitting quietly and not speaking to anyone. And the frogs and birds were so surprised that they thought he was sick or he's going to die. But no, Mr. Frog was so excited because he had the most wonderful dream ever. So one frog member asked Mr. Frog what happened, and Mr. Frog smiled and stood up like a king, chest up to all his family and friends. He told them that he had the dream that he could fly and all over the ponds around the country with two ducks. They all laughed and whispered to each other how crazy he was and there was no hope for him. But then came from the pond, quack, 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 quack. Ducks. Ducks, he said. Come here, he waved. Come here. And then the ducks came. He told them, I had a dream that you could make me fly. The ducks looked at each other and laughed. What makes you think that? He said, in my dream, I used a stick to wrap my tongue around it and fly. And you took me with you. He told them, okay, we can do that, but only one thing you have to do. You can never talk while we're flying, because you would fall. So the next day, Mr. Frog and the ducks took him flying, and they were flying so high all the frogs couldn't imagine. Mr. Frog was thinking to himself, why aren't they passing through the ponds? I want to show my friends and family. So they're flying faster and faster each time, and every single time Mr. Frog's thinking to himself, why aren't they passing through the ponds? In one moment, he said, stop! And then he came flying down and psh, a splash in the water. The next day, Mr. Frog was humiliated. All his families and friends were looking for him, and once they found him, they saw him laying down sadly and not speaking to anyone. So one of his family member told him, what happened, Mr. Frog? He told him, and he replied, I don't want to speak. I don't want to talk about it.